Happy new T Purple release week to everybody. And this is just a taster. The new T Purple record, SPLAT, is coming Friday. I assume we're going to talk about that soon after it comes out Friday, July 3rd. But this came out last week. It's an EP of 3 of the songs from SPLAT and 2 live tracks from a live concert in Dresden in 2024. So, a tasty little thing that gets you psyched for the new T Purple record. Hey group, welcome to X Red Corner. I'm your host, Richard May. The title track of this EP is Guilt Trippin. There is a Monty Python-esque video. Who's the animator for? Bad production. I forgot to look up who does the animation for Monty Python. It's like that, but different. And so it's a nice, cool video, but you don't get it with the EP when you listen to the EP on YouTube. You get the videos for the next 2 songs. So there's videos for all 3 songs. The 3 new songs on this EP. Guilt Tripping, but that is found elsewhere. Maybe they'll fix it by the time you watch it, but the video is not on the EP. But the next song, Diablo, has the video. And then the 3rd song, Arrogant Boy, that has the video. They're basically performance videos of the guys playing the song. But Diablo, cool effect. You'll see. And good sunglasses, guys. Always a good idea. The 2 old songs you get in live format, Portable Door, which comes from the prior Studio T Purple record, equals 1. And then to finish off this 5-song EP, 20 minutes, you get Anya from The Battle Rages On. Yeah, this is Ian's return to T Purple after his 1-record vacation with Jolyn Turner doing Slaves and Masters. Underrated record, I think. But this is Ian's comeback, and of course he's been there ever since. And all the songs in my book are all killer, no filler. But I warn you, this is not the 70s or even 80s hard rock T Purple. You have a bit prog going on. It rocks. Absolutely it rocks. But it's not Highway Star, Space Truckin', or Perfect Strangers, or Knock on Your Back Door. It's not that sort of thing going on here. It's, Guilt Trippin', just the first few seconds, with Don Airey's piano. Delicate piano to start the song. And it comes back. I don't remember much T Purple with piano. John Lord, stuck to keyboards and synthesizers. Of course, he owned a piano. But for Deep Purple, there wasn't that much piano going on. Some piano in Whitesnake in John Lord's time there, but not in Deep Purple. Hammond, synthesizers, not piano. Pointing out to me what the exceptions to my rule is. I'm sure there's Deep Purple songs where John Lord brings out the piano. Oh, a bit of O to G, maybe. Yeah, but that's Tommy Bolin. But nothing wrong. Love the Tommy Bolin record. But, so yeah, Down Area with a bit of piano for Guilt Trippin'. Very cool. And great back and forth between Simon McBride, the guitarist, and Don Airey. It isn't just the normal John Lord, Ritchie Blackmore, okay, you get a minute, John, and I'll take a minute. Oh, no. It's a few seconds, a little bit here. It goes back like I forgot to count. But it might be more than that when they're going back and forth. Between Don and the guitar player just trading licks back and forth. I love that part. I also like the lyrics for Guilt Trippin'. Ian's lyric writing. I know Roger Clover can help out too with lyric writing, but we've had lots of examples of Ian Gillan on his own writing lyrics in his solo career in Gillan and whatnot. And I love Ian Gillan's lyric writing. He never repeats himself and always has something interesting to say. And Guilt Trippin', nice little message song about the state of the world. And of course, I read it's like a conversation between God and Charles Darwin. And the video is, based on that theme, as you'll see when you watch the video. So I like the message of Guilt Tripping. You'll see when you get to it. I also like the lyrics to Arrogant Boy, the third song on this EP. Arrogant Boy, you can't, Ian's not inclined often to be too blunt in who he is addressing. So that the song stays timeless instead of being a period piece. But Arrogant Boy, it reminds me of a certain American politician with a 2-syllable first name. The subject here is Billy. There's another American politician with a 2-syllable word that seems to apply to this outline of the life of this arrogant boy, as Ian puts it. I'll leave it at Ian to explain who he's talking. There might be a British politician or a public figure that fits this description. There's, I'm sure, multiple politicians and business figures, whatnot, that fit this description of Billy, an arrogant boy. It almost fits a prominent office holder. in the United States. And I'll leave it at that. And, it's a really nice little EP. What's your appetite for Friday? And, there is a physical release of this, but it's only 3,000 copies. Because, of course, once the album is out, do you need this? No, you're going to have the record with 3 new songs. And the 2 live songs, I'm sure would be found elsewhere. Bonus tracks for the studio record SPLAT on CD form, perhaps. They'll often do that. So, just a little taster of what we're going to get Friday. And never mind that Deep Purple's not. I think Ian Gillan or someone else said, "Oh, we're just more hard rock." Yeah, fine. Yeah, heard that from Kiss about every record, the 80s and 90s, right? But Deep Purple, just is not the groundbreaking band of the 70s. Or even the Perfect Strangers record when they came back in the 80s. Since Perfect Strangers, there's more prog going, and especially when Richie left and you had Steve Morse in the band. More prog going on here. And that's okay, but a touch of prog, mixed in with rock and roll. And this is what is keeping Purple relevant for the last 30-some years. You have to be my age or a touch older to remember, some people are impatient with Purple because, when you're talking early 70s hard rock, for that minute, the early 70s for hard rock, Zeppelin, Sabbath, Purple, pretty much in that order. And Purple was competing with Sabbath a great deal, for that second spot back then. Of course, Sabbath, once, who do we think we are? Yeah, that killed the momentum, that record. The prog came in. Leroy Heap was even in the conversation. When you're talking early 70s, early Leroy Heap, pretty darn heavy. When you're listening to early 70s music, that's your big 4. But of course, Heap went pop, went prog, fell off. And of course, they fire Gillan and Clover, bring in David Coverdale, Glenn Hughes, and that was cool. Burn is great, but then, lost momentum with Stormbringer, and then bring in Tommy Bolin, for Come Taste the Band, lost momentum. And so now, Sabbath, even in the mid-70s, lost momentum. Oh, what the 2 Sabbath records I'm supposed to remember? The 2 you don't care for as much before they fired Ozzy. Or as they were about to fire Ozzy and did fire Ozzy, whatever. Those 2. And Technical Ecstasy, that's the one of them. They started to lose the plot too. And even Zeppelin with Presence. Do you listen to Presence all the time? No. So, but still, it's like in hindsight, now as we talk, the early 70s hard rock, Zeppelin, Sabbath, absolutely, 1 and 2. Purple of that period was definitely number 3. Had a record label, for Pete's sake, of Purple Records. You're doing good coin. If your record label says, hey, you want to run your own label? We'll pay for it. You're doing good coin there. So, yeah, we have those great memories of how hard rock and Purple was with Blackmore in that early 70s before he left to form Rainbow. But this has not been that Purple for a generation. Go on 40 years just about. And, excuse me a moment. But never mind that digression. This is a great 20 minutes to spend with your life. Okay, this is good. You remember Anya? You'll remind yourself when you listen to Anya on this. Good version of Anya. And Portable Door is a good number too. And the 3 new songs, it's all killer, no filler. But it's not quite that hard rock. And the new guy, the new guitarist, the new kid, that 47-year-old kid they hired to replace Morris. And I just took a minute from our homework to read up on Simon McBride, the new guitarist. And it didn't come out of nowhere. He was in the Deep Purple family before. This, Snake Charmer. It started as Mickey Moody and Neil Murray. Maybe somebody else, I forget. From Whitesnake, forming another offshoot band. And of course, Mickey Moody didn't last to the second record. This record, Second Skin. Simon McBride replaced Mickey Moody. And then he played with, Don Airey's solo band. Yeah. Once you get a Deep Purple family tree thing in your resume, you get another shot, another job elsewhere, and hey, Purple may say, hey, kind of like how they found Don Airey. Don Airey was Richie Blackmore's keyboard player on Rainbow. So there you go. Not the hardest rock record here. There is elements of prog. Ian Gillinson, fine voice, in the live in the studio. All the guys are jamming nicely. Good production. But is it really hard rock? No. Not hard rock as we usually define it. Definitely prog elements in here. But it's very much Purple in the 21st century. This is what they've been sounding like, period. And I like it. I like it a lot. I think you do too. If you give it a shot. And there's a bit more rock and roll in SPLAT, and we'll find out by Friday. Good. I'd like to have a bit more rock and roll in here. We'll see what McBride may bring in. There's no ballads on this one. Anya's not a ballad. So yeah, all of these songs rock. They're good for mixed company. They're not that heavy. It is on YouTube. But remember, if you want to see the video for Guilt Tripping, the title song of this EP. For whatever reason, the video's not on the EP of the YouTube version of the EP. You'll get the other two videos. You have to go look elsewhere for the video for Guilt Tripping. And maybe by the time I may put this on Monday or Sunday, I haven't decided yet as I'm talking, but they may put the video in the EP by the time you go check out the EP. But if the video's not there, go look for it. Yeah, I found under something called T Purple Psychedelic. With that video, it's psychedelic. That's fair comment. Whoever put it there did a good job. It is on YouTube. There's a political. The two songs I kept was Guilt Trippin', the title track, and Arrogant Boy, because I perceive a message in there, but it's subtle enough where if you're some kind of conservative or whatever you are, it may go over your head. And you just be popping along and go, oh, this is cool. It goes over your head. I perceive a message. But maybe it's just me. Art is like that. Is it fun? Yes, it is. This is fun. I didn't keep it. Maybe I'll reconsider by the time the album comes out Friday. But for Diablo, they do rock the sunglasses. All 5 of them. Yeah, some of the guys ditched the sunglasses for the performance vid for Arrogant Boy. Arrogant Boy and Diablo are performance vids of them standing around in the studio playing the song. They're all rocking sunglasses in Diablo. When you get to Arrogant Boy, I didn't count. Some of them are still wearing their sunglasses. Some of them took them off. Yeah, there's a point to put on sunglasses when you're my age, let alone the age of 4 of the members of T Purple, who are somewhat older than me. Summer Bride is somewhat younger than me. And, yeah. Simon's 47. He's the kid. Yeah. He could be the son of any of the 4 other members of T Purple. He could be my son. So I would have been your Randy at the age. You have to be I was about to graduate high school. So there you go. So great fun. Go check it out. And Jesus, I took longer to explain this than it takes to listen to it, like I usually do. If you like this video, bless your heart. Give it a like. Subscribe to Extract Corner. Ring the notification bell. And go leave a comment. Go listen. Before the new record SPLAT comes out, listen to Guilt Trippin'. That's probably 30% of the record right there. Might be the 3 best songs, but hey, we're going to find out Friday. Might be something more rockin' than the other, whatever number of songs they may be. Come back and tell us what you think. And for the latest in action rock, energy rock, garage rock, punk, and psych, and psychobilly, and stoner rock, and, and of course, classic and legacy bands that gave us what we love, like Deep Purple. Come back here to Action Rock Corner. We'll have it for you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks.